The Clash Royale balance changes are out and we got 9 different cards which got changed in the new Clash Royale update. And today it's my task for you guys to show you the 3 best decks after the new Clash Royale update. If you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure to subscribe and also make sure to use creator code MOD in the shop. This means a lot to me, so thank you so much for using that. And also let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the changes now while they're in-game and what are your favorite decks for the new season. Before we jumping into the decks, I need to tell you guys I'm gonna record before the balance changes are actually heading out. I think they're going around going out in game at like 11 AM German time, because I'm like at this time around I will be at the doctor because I still have some appointments because of my hospital problems. I did a video like 1 week or 2 weeks ago. Make sure to check it out. But just to let you know, but this is the deck number 1. I think I showed you already a similar deck, the best deck to upgrade with, where I excluded the Monk because I think Monk is really hard to upgrade. So if you guys don't have the Monk in unlocked, not maxed out, make sure to sub in the Royale goes. I also did a video about that, make sure to check it out. But Royale Giant will be just so good, and I still think Log is absolutely incredible in this type of deck, even after nerf. People are always arguing that if a Log or like if a card gets a nerf, it doesn't mean it's dead. This is kind of what we need to understand, right? Because there are people which are really overreacting to nerfs and also underreacting. If you can say that it is, because sometimes small changes are huge, but especially a Log, I wouldn't like, just if you're like playing a Log deck, at example like 2.6, I wouldn't recommend you using Bubble. Log is still solid, but the main kind of difference where it's like not really too good anymore is for sure one of the bigger changes is for sure the Royale Giant at example, right? The knockback is just not as effective as it used to be, and Royale Giant is just like one of the cards with the Log plus the Ice with that example of like Goblins or Cheap Answer was really significant. So having a change there is absolutely mad. And also really crazy. So I think Royale Giant can be really good, and especially with the Monk, I think this is a deck which I also saw a ton of pro players were saying that Royale Giant is a bit too broken, and they're really saying also that, I think, like I also mentioned in yesterday's video, they're like 2 kind of win conditions which are kind of resistant to nerfs, or like which Supercell doesn't nerf at all, which are really people are complaining about. It's the Royale Giant and the Graveyard, and just Royale Giant. It's now solid and good in the meta. You need to kind of think about it for 4 years. I was playing a Royale Giant Fisher Furnace deck in 2019. It's absolutely incredible to think about that. And then we had the Skull Drinks meta, then we had the Phoenix meta, before then we also had the Cheap Cycle meta with the Hunter, with the Lactose, and with the E-Bubs. Like every single time, like Royale Giant is just so solid in this type of deck. So I'm just gonna go for my Royale Giant here. Royale Giant is coming down, and so I'm just gonna chill with the lightning because I'm still waiting for a bit more value, and I also don't want to overcommit. Now I'm just gonna take the lightning here. Please walk into that. Okay, all great. Also, okay, Hunter doesn't get a shot, but also decks which I'm gonna show you today, they're pretty easy to play. Besides, like, what means pretty easy to play, but they're like really solid decks for. They were also strong at one point, so it's like not completely new decks, because I think their balance changes don't allow us to make like completely new decks. I just think at least that's what my guess is. The decks which will be changed, or like the decks which will be good after benches, are decks which were like already strong before, or just like the decks which were also strong last season, just with like 1 or 2 changes. For example, Archers in the deck instead of Archer Queen and so on. So I'm just gonna use my ability here because it's always great, and just lightning, it's so effective. People are also asking for lightning nerf. It's like, I mean, you can't make it right for everyone, but this is absolutely amazing. I can just go for the Fisherman. We know he just has poison. Poison alone won't be enough to secure this tower for him. So I'm just going to go for the Phoenix here. I'm just going to go for the Royale Giant. I'm just going to be aggressive because I know he needs to cycle back to another Hog Rider as soon as he can. And just Royale Giant. What do I need to tell you guys? Royale Giant is such a solid deck. GG's well played. Great win. And I would say let's jump on to deck number 2 on the list. Deck number 2 on the list is this xbow cycle deck. Knight got a buff, Archers got a buff, Queen got a nerf, Queen Bow is dead, also with the Rocket being nerfed a lot, which is actually hurting xbow as well. I mean, it's helping xbow at one point because not that much Rocket anymore. Rocket was a really solid counter against xbow, but also at the same time Rocket was played in xbow and was one of the main win conditions, because in some matchups he were not able to break through with the xbow. You're just gonna go Rocket cycle for sure. It's now different, but the Archers are actually so good now after the bunch. I tested them out on a death build. Same for the Knight. They're so strong right now, and just like a really cheap cycle 3.0, you know this deck, and I think best in A. Aragon, all the xbow players are happy to play the classic version again. Straight up jumping into the game. By the way, let me know what you guys think about the new background, and also, Valentine's Day. I mean, like, we're already, like, I think gamers don't have girlfriends at all, so we're just gonna chill
Emotional
at Valentine's Day, also at home. So Valentine's Day doesn't mean something else besides like playing Clash Royale. But I mean, it's still pretty cool. It's a pretty cool arena. So he plays a bowl in the back. The problem is I'm thinking about going for the xbow opposite lane. The only problem why I shouldn't do this is because this bowl already gets like a ton of value, since it's like a 4.5 elixir I spend on the left side with the archer split and also the knight. He goes in for an earthquake. So I mean, this is kind of where the rocket was really, really great, right? So rocket was just so solid against earthquake decks, because in this type of matchups you're kind of struggling with your breaking through with your xbow. Makes sense, right? EQ is a really solid counter with a tank especially, so this is kind of what our deck's like really struggling against. And then we have like the ability to just play defense, cycle our locks, cycle our ice split, sometimes get a lock, because you also need to rocket at example, I mean EQ at example, my Tesla or something else, trying to get chip damage on a tower, then we're able to punch him with the xbow, but mainly just about cycling rockets, and just get the spell cycle going. So I guess I'm just gonna go for the lock. Also, I will try to get also some xbow pro this season on the channel. Might be doing like a 1 hour guide. Let me know if you guys interested in see this really long videos, really long format matchup guides with the best players in the world, and I'm just gonna commentate their gameplay. So he just goes in for a freeze here. Nothing we really need to worry about. Also, kind of the spell decision this season will be interesting. Rocket got a nerf. I mean, poison and lightning doesn't really work too much again, too well in this type of deck like xbow. But I could honestly imagine seeing a ton of lightning this season, and especially like minor poison. I was talking about in yesterday's video, minor poison is just so broken. But also, I mean, as a content creator, I just love new balance change. Doesn't matter how much like they affect the meta or like how much they do affect the meta, but just itself like something new. Like that doesn't matter how bad the balance is at the first couple of days, it will be something new. And as long as like 1 or 2 decks are changing, I'm already happy. Like this is kind of the state of the game, which yeah, I mean, I'm just not really, I think you guys can know I'm not really too happy with the state of the game. But also we outcycled him here. I'm just gonna go for the knight here. I mean, he gets one shot now with the balloon on top of my Tesla maybe. Yeah. I also don't really want to overcommit here, so this is really smart. I'm just gonna let it go. I just think, is the death damage even there? I'm not 100% sure it's there, but I can just go for another xbow here. And we outcycling his EQ pretty solid. So yeah, he's most likely just gonna EQ that, yeah. But EQ alone doesn't do enough. So okay, the question is, can I protect my xbow here or not? Can I protect my xbow here or not? I can protect it. Okay, he also needs to go in for this. Okay, that's great. Because now I'm just gonna go in for my Tesla here. Did I miss it? I need to go xbow also. There was a huge miss. That was pretty bad. But also we do get an xbow lock. Maybe. I need to go fireball, and I knew he would freeze that. So that wasn't really well played. We're doing some small mistakes, of course. I mean, what means of course? But we're doing them anyway. So I'm just gonna cycle my knight. I think same lane pushing is not really too great, but also considering he has like damage on both sides, and he doesn't really have one lane so far, which he really went to. So I'm just gonna go xbow. Opposite, 2 small tanks are out, or like 2 tanks. His major tanks against my xbow are out. So I think this might give us an opportunity to punish him. I think we do get 1 small connection. No, we do not, but I can just go in for another xbow. Also cycle this EQ as far as I mentioned, or like as far as I saw. And I guess I'm just gonna go in for my fireball here. I just hope we hit both, because if we hit both, we can just go in for the log here. And okay, at least we forced out a bit more, so I can just go in for my ice spirit here. Ice spirit is just so strong. Like ice spirit also one of the cards which you really need to take a closer look, especially in this type of expo decks, type of hog decks, archer, queen, mortar, which was really strong last season. I guess I'm just gonna go in for my expo defensive here, because right now it's a game where I'm just gonna play defense. He needs to get a ton of damage. Doesn't matter if he's EQing my expo, because it won't be enough, right? Like it won't be enough. So I'm just gonna go for fireball here. I'm also gonna go in for my Tesla here. Now I'm trying to get a great ice bird going. I also have my skeletons ready here. Good skeletons. I'm just gonna go expo opposite lane just to try to apply a bit more pressure. I'm also gonna go for archers here, because I could imagine going in for another Inferno Dragon, but he does not. But the game is over anyway. Nothing he can do here, and I think we played it pretty decent. Not optimal, not like world class, but we did enough, and I think it kind of shows you this deck will be strong. Deck number 3 is this Hog Firecracker deck. I think a deck which you're like, if you're Ian viewer, you're completely familiar with that. An absolutely amazing deck. I don't know 100% if this is the best version of that. I decided to put Cannon in because I think Cannon is such a good building right now. You could also think about using maybe the Mortar in the deck. Considering it was so broken last season, I just think in this type of deck, Cannon works better than Tesla because Tesla just right now is really good in Xbow. Besides, like in any other deck, it's not really too good. We got the Firecracker in it, which got the first hit buff, so might be very more solid against faster troops like Dart Golem, also like Spear Golems of the Spear Golem Hut, because first of all, like in the last couple of metas, last couple of months, she was always missing this type of tube, so I just hope it's kind of like a bug change. And also Ian was saying he wants to try out Hog Firecracker again, so this might be not the final version, but just generally, this type of deck you should take a closer look to. And now I'm hopefully explaining you how to play this deck. I mean, Ian was so goated with this deck. He played with Skeleton's Iceberg, he also played it with Firecracker, and he also had the Teslas of the Cannon, and he also had the Valk instead of the Knight. But I consider the Knight being maybe better since it's like one less elixir, and with the Firecracker you also have Splash, so I think this is just like a really overall solid deck. But yeah, as I said, might be some change. You could also think about using Inferno, you could think about using Mortar. But like Ian was like just so good with this type of deck. He was playing it so well. I'm just gonna go for my Firecracker now in the back. And the thing is, like with the Firecracker, you only need to be worried about King Turk duration. So every time you play Firecracker, you kind of want to support also with the Hog, because if you don't do that, if you don't support with the Hog, you're kind of struggling. Because he can get an easy King Turk activation. So this time he gets an easy King Turk activation, but at the same time you also get a ton of Firecracker volume. And the time like the Hog always gets on top of the tower, the Firecracker is gonna kill the supportive troops and at the same time chipping away. And this is kind of prime example we call like why I think this might be really solid. So I'm just gonna go in for my Cannon here. And Firecracker, I mean, against Loon, yes, we are struggling. But Cannon, it's not too bad against Loon. So we're just gonna go in for this here. I don't know, I think it's not even gonna go get death damage. Now we're playing a Hog in front. Hog Firecracker is still one of the most annoying combinations to play against, because if you play, for example, a Mega Knight on top of the Hog Rider, you still get one shot and also 2 Firecracker splashes on top of you. So my Firecracker is actually doing an amazing job. Kills the Inferno, still gets 1 shot, which means around 400 damage here on level 11. So tournament standard, and yeah, it's absolutely amazing so far. And also our cycle for sure is really quick. So have my Cannon ready. I guess first I'm just gonna go Goblins here. I have my Cracker. The thing is, he has, as far as I know, he has also, what he played so far, he has also the arrows. Okay, so I'm just gonna go Knight here. Okay, I'm just gonna go Ice Spirit. The thing is, he has arrows, right? So, oh, I just get the Goblins in front of this. This is cool. So even if he would have arrows that had another Firecracker, I'm also going to go for an EQ here. Why not? Just getting some extra chip damage. Maybe place an Inferno late. No, he does not. But the Firecracker is connecting to tower. I'm just going to go for my Firecracker here. I'm just going to go Cyclone Icebird high here. And yeah, kind of the missing stuff with the Firecracker, sometimes like missing troops. This is hopefully gonna get patched by this kind of big or like smaller, which could be a bigger buff. I mean, this first attack buffs are kind of normally like changes which are really big. I don't know if you guys remember the Rascals change back then. They were so broken when they got released. Then they did like a first attacks nerf, and the card work was kind of dead. So this kind of placement always seems like the balloon won't get kited, but it's actually the best or one of the better balloon placements. I mean, kind of placements against the balloon. I'm just gonna go another Firecracker. I could have imagined him going for arrows. We are taking this win, and I just hope you guys enjoyed this video. These are, in my opinion, top 3 best decks for the new Clash Royale February season. If you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure to subscribe, make sure to give a fat thumbs up, and I would say I'm out. Thanks for watching, and I love you guys. Goodbye.